How to plan a trip financially. Whether you're traveling for work or for leisure, you can't really ignore the financial considerations. One of the worst possible things for you would be to run into financial trouble very far away from home. And so, in this video, we tell you how best to plan a trip financially. Get to know what you need to know, so you never run out of money at an essential time during your trip. So, when traveling for work or for leisure, the financial considerations are going to be different. When traveling for work, there's a high chance your employer will provide some amount of money. But even if this is the case, the tips in this video will still be useful to you. It's one thing to have money, but it's another thing altogether to know how to handle the money within a foreign territory. As for traveling for leisure, well, it's a process that has been made infinitely more complicated by recent developments. With the rise of the COVID-19 pandemic, many countries have come up with restrictions on who is allowed to enter and who is allowed to leave. Things like vaccination cards and COVID test results have all become essential travel documents, in addition to staples like visas and passports. All these things also have financial considerations as well. And so, in this video, we cover them. The most important thing to do when preparing for a trip financially is to create a budget. This is an easier process than you might think. The thing about this process, though, is that it is not an accurate one. As such, whatever financial projections you come up with will have to be estimations, and they will have to be estimates within a range. If your calculations show that a trip might cost $3,000, then you might want to budget between $3,000 to $4,000 for safety. After all, some of the variables you base your calculations on might change. That's why they're called variables. And so, how exactly does one go through the process of creating a budget for a trip? Well, this sort of budget should factor in every expected expense you will incur on the trip. So, the first thing to take into account is the ticket price or the costs of fuel or transportation. Do this for a round trip. Then, you might want to include accommodation fees for your destination. You might have to book ahead of time, so the price for this expense shouldn't change significantly, if at all. Then make consideration for all the money you will be spending at the location you are heading towards. This sort of consideration has to do with the purpose of the trip. If you're going to a beachside resort to have fun, then you will likely be partaking in activities on the premises, such as swimming, speedboating, jet skiing, and so on. These expenses are usually separate from the accommodation fees, so you can't ignore them. You might want to add money for food and water as well. These days, COVID test results aren't something you can ignore. Most countries require them before they can let you in. Usually, you might only have to do it once. And so, make sure you create space for this on your budget as well, right along with the financial demands for all other travel documents you might need. This might be the cheapest part of the budget, but without taking care of the things on this list, you might not be able to travel at all. So, when your budget is created, you're pretty much good to go. But as we pointed out in the introduction, there's a big difference between having money and knowing how to handle it. There are many other things you need to keep in the back of your mind. Ahead, we break these down one by one. For one, you need to keep currencies and exchange rates in mind, particularly if you're traveling internationally. Some places might accept the US dollar, but most places do not. This means you'll have to convert your money into the local currency. And when you do that, your money might gain or lose value. Because the US economy is so strong, the former scenario is more likely. But yeah, it's something you can't ignore. Travel insurance is also another important thing to consider. It's a type of insurance that makes the insurance company liable for damages like loss of baggage, transit accidents, and sometimes even acquiring an infectious disease. Travel insurance isn't that expensive, so you might as well get it. It's everyone's hope that their trips go smoothly, but you never know. You might also want to set up account tracking tools before your journey. This will make sure that if someone happens to lay their hands on your vital information, you will be alerted instantly and can freeze the funds in your account. Identity theft is quite common in transit, and so staying covered this way will allow you to get ahead of the devastation. You can also set up basic security tools like two-factor authentication. This makes it significantly harder for you to be hacked. it might be wise to request travel-friendly credit and debit cards from your bank and financial institutions. Most credit cards don't work over international lines, but some do. Getting your hands on those that do will save you a lot of financial trouble. You will have access to the money in your bank account without headache. And as valuable as these credit and debit cards may be, don't forget to keep some cash in both US dollars and the native currency on hand. Too much cash might make you a target or give you a headache at immigration. So keep enough that you can get around without any trouble. Coming to the end of this video, we hope you've learned the key things you need to consider in order to plan a trip financially, even though it might seem intimidating. By following the advice in this video, you'll do amazing. Well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to learn more, then check out other videos on this channel. We have a large catalog of content intended to keep you informed and engaged. Until next time, have a good day. Catch you later.